I am very excited about AGU's theme for this year's fall meeting, Science Leads the Future. And I'd actually like to up that a bit and say that Earth and space sciences play a particularly important role among all the sciences in thinking about what the future will be for us as humans and for a habitable planet. AGU, as the world's largest association of Earth and space sciences, is called to be in a leadership role right now with respect to where science and society meet. Sometimes that's in ethical areas. One that comes to mind, and that's very much in our area of work right now, is thinking about climate intervention. As we realize that CO2 levels are rising to dangerous levels, and some of our efforts at mitigation are only going so far to stall that dangerous rise, we're looking at climate intervention strategies. Those are being talked about. Solar radiation modification, storage of carbon deep in the oceans. And it occurred to the AGU leadership that there was no ethical framework for evaluating what kind of research should be done in this area, let alone what deployment might look like. Now, it's important, AGU as an organization is not taking a position for or against climate change intervention or advocating for one specific method or another. We are recognizing that this needs to be a conversation that is held by scientists, by policymakers, by people that are experts on governance, that are voices of indigenous peoples and people typically excluded from science are in the table, around the table as well. And we are bringing those people together to develop an ethical framework that will allow us to evaluate what are the best options for moving forward. Open science allows us to share science across disciplinary boundaries and across geographic boundaries. And we're committed to what are considered the gold standard principles of ocean science. And they have this great acronym called FAIR, and that stands for findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. And so technology is rapidly transforming our disciplines and allowing us 24/7 data sharing, but that's only if you actually have true access to those data. So we are working to increase the capacity to access data for everyone. We are a global organization, and this is a global priority. In addition, another way we're putting our money where our mouth is we're literally changing our publication model so that our publications can be accessed. Right now, 9 of our 23 journals are fully open access. Half of our papers are open access at publication. And I'm very, very proud that one of our flagships, Geophysical Research Letters, is going to be fully open access in January 23. Another way AGU is leading in solution science is by our work in what is called community science. And this is a recognition that while science and technology is absolutely critical to solving problems, figuring out what problems need to be solved is both a scientific question and something that is deeply embedded by the lives and the livelihoods of the people who are most affected by the kind of challenges we currently face. So in community science, we work as scientists closely, literally sort of hand in hand with community members to define a scientific question that is both technical as well as how it actually impacts their lives and livelihoods, the health of their community, the welfare of their children, how they actually fare economically, all of those things. It's a different way of doing science. As a scientist myself, it means that we approach this work with much greater humility and we focus on listening to what the problems are and co-creating solutions. We're so dedicated to this that we've actually started a whole new journal about community science that's coupled with a portal where you can share best practices, share data, and we can all come together around this initiative. We are taking a variety of steps to ensure that everything that we do has an eye to increasing diversity and true inclusion, a true welcoming environment and functional way in which inclusion occurs in our research and in our engagement.